I had to put on another layer to compete with Chris Hebron. I don't want to give you any disillusions. This isn't about craft beer. I understand if you feel the urge to leave. Now, I'm here to talk with all of you about one of our most precious resources, water. 70% of our planet is covered in it. 60% of our bodies are made from it, and 70% of the brain is comprised of it. It's vital to all living organisms, and it's constantly surrounding us. In our region, water is plentiful. We live in an area with the greatest density of fresh water in the entire planet. 21% of the world's fresh water is held in these 5 connected bodies of water. It flows readily from our taps in our homes, from our schools, from our workplaces. Fresh, healthy drinking water is always at our disposal and ready to flow from our taps at a moment's notice. But a lot of energy goes into making sure this is a reality. Every year, $43 billion is spent in the United States to ensure this is a reality. That may sound like a lot, but that comes out to be about $140 per person. Now, we continue to spend money on bottled water, even though we do this. So, with all the effort we take to ensure that our water is safe and drinkable, we continue to pay over $20 billion a year in bottled water. Let's put that in perspective. Gasoline, that's something we can all fathom. At $4 a gallon, gasoline costs just a hair over 3 cents an ounce. Bottled water costs over 6 cents an ounce. We're paying $8 a gallon for a resource that flows from our faucets for next to nothing. But bottled water comes from pristine mountain sources where the birds and the bees flutter around spreading joy and merriment, right? Well, not necessarily. Up to 40% of bottled water comes from another source, a source closer to home, the tap. 40% of bottled water is simply filtered tap water, the same water we're not drinking from our faucets at home. Now, if this were the end of the story, it wouldn't be so bad, but it isn't. Bottled water is extremely wasteful. What happens to the bottle after you're done drinking it? Well, if we're lucky, it goes to Boniface. But less than 20% make it to the recycling facility. The remainder end up here or somewhere far worse. There's currently a hairball of plastic floating in the Pacific Ocean. It's also extremely energy intensive. The bottles are made from fossil fuels. They're shipped using fossil fuels. Even the bottles that make it to the recycling facility are processed using fossil fuels. Every step in a bottled water's lifespan is extremely energy intensive and poses an environmental risk. I really, really wish this were in the story, that it's energy intensive, makes a lot of waste, and costs a lot of money. But it's not. It gets far worse. There's a social component to every story of sustainability. Bottlers take water in large volumes from aquifers and springs around the globe. This can drain wells, deplete wetlands, and drain our rivers. Water rights are human rights. Let me say that again. Water rights are human rights. Thank you. Every time we buy a bottle of water, we're supporting the privatization and corporatization of a public good and basic human need. Voting for bottled water with our dollars has long-term implications. If the public and future generations believe that the only place they can get safe drinking water is from the bottle, there'll be less political support to fund our public water systems. This could be our reality. But far worse than that, conditions in other nations where water security is currently an issue may not get better. What message do we want to send? Let's shift directions for a moment. In the spring of 2009, I fell in love. I was swept off my feet, but not by a person, by a bottle. That green beauty there, we've traveled the globe together. We've shared meals. It's a wonderful monogamous relationship. We've been together 4 years now. In that time, we have shared experiences, and our relationship has become a conversation piece. What if we're together another 4, 10, the rest of our lives? It's no longer a reusable water bottle, it's a symbol. I encourage each of you to take back the tap, to utilize the fresh and healthy water flowing from our faucets, but more importantly, to take a stand on an environmental, economic, and social issue. This isn't about bottled water. It's about the small decisions we make each and every day that have lasting and long-term implications. This is just one step we can each take today. Take back the tap and take a stand on this social justice issue. Thank you.